When it comes to appearances, there are really only three kinds of people in the world. There's a very small group of people that are so genetically gifted that anyone who looks at them would think they're attractive. And there's another very small group of people that have unfortunately lost the genetic lottery and almost no one will find them attractive. Now for the rest of us, and I include myself in this group, whether we're attractive or not is largely a matter of opinion. And if you've been on YouTube long enough and you've made enough videos, you're going to get a certain number of comments and messages expressing both opinions. And I'm no different. And I'm just going to focus for now on the positive messages, not to brag or to pat myself on the back, because certainly I haven't gotten a huge number of messages saying that people think I'm good looking. But I've gotten enough that I've detected a pattern. I wanted to talk about that a bit. You know, you'll get one of these messages or comments, and and I'll say, oh, that's nice, and I'll click on the person's name to see, well, who's saying this about me? And the channel page comes up of this person. And what do I see? I see one of two things. I either see a page that might have, favorites of videos of guys kissing, or guys scantily clad, or guys wearing leather, or the channel page will pop up and it'll have something like Jonas Brothers wallpaper. So yes, it seems like out of everyone out on YouTube, the people that are most likely to be attracted to me are either gay men or 15-year-old girls. Why? I don't know. It seems kind of odd. I mean, do 15-year-old girls and gay men have the same taste in men? I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to get my head around this, and maybe it's because I'm just generally not very masculine and I'm kind of wussy. I mean, I don't know. Maybe gay men are attracted to wussy guys. At least some are. I don't know. And long as I can remember, like teen idols for teenage girls have always been extremely wussy-looking guys. From like David Cassidy and Sean Cassidy to the Jonas Brothers today. I mean, tough and masculine isn't something that young girls are usually attracted to. And if I'm anything in this world, I'm not tough and masculine. So maybe that appeals to some people. I don't know. But it's really weird and strange. And yeah, it's really weird. And when I think about it, one thing I think is, if there are 15-year-old girls out there that are writing these comments, and they are, where the hell were all these 15-year-old girls when I was 15? All right? I know they weren't born yet, but you get my idea. I mean, when I was 15, 15-year-old girls wouldn't look at me, wouldn't talk to me. And I guess that's just the way it is. I mean, when I was 15 years old, as I mentioned in an earlier video, I could have sworn, I'm 38 now, and I could have sworn there were like 38-year-old women, like, the moms of some of my schoolmates. Some of those moms were giving me the eye. I'm telling you, they were. But I was 15, and now that I'm 38, I'm sure 38 women could care less about me, and I've got 15-year-old girls writing comments like, you're hot, or marry me, or, That's just the way it is, and if you're 15 years old, 38-year-olds like you. If you're 38, 15-year-olds like you. If you're straight, gay people are attracted to you. I'm sure if I get reincarnated someday as a gay man, oh, straight women will adore me then. Oh yeah. I mean, what good does this all do me? I mean, look, it's not like I'm gonna, I'm gonna run away with someone who made some comment on my YouTube page, but at least I'm gonna get these comments. It'd be nice if every once in a while there's somebody who was female and age appropriate. You get these comments from like a 15-year-old. You almost feel like guilty getting them. You're like, oh my god, it kind of makes me feel creepy, and. So yeah, so that's one thing, and it's really weird. Though I must admit, okay, you get these comments, and I'll be honest though, you get them. I get them from gay men. I'm flattered, but I'm only flattered in an intellectual way. I'm flattered because I know I'm supposed to be flattered. But you get that kind of comment from a woman, you kind of feel flattered, kind of in here, and you kind of feel guilty about that. You find that the girl's only 15 years old or something, But my point is that. When I was in high school and early days in college, I had very low self-esteem. I'd very shy, only approached a few girls, got rejected by all of them, and I felt had such bad self-esteem. I felt so terrible. I thought I was the most ugly, most hideous person in the entire world. And I thought no one would ever find me attractive. And there's a lesson to be learned here, because little did I know, during this period of time when I thought I was the most unattractive man in the world, I actually had a stalker. And I found this out years later. And just to give you a very quick background to set this up, I graduated high school in 1988, got married in 1996, and in 1997 I received an email. And it was from a girl I went to high school with. And it was a girl who I'd never spoken to. We never had a conversation. I recognized the name, but I barely knew who she was. And she wrote that she had gotten my email address from a mutual friend of ours. I'm like, all right, that's fine. And she tells me a little about her life, that she's married now, blah, blah, blah. And then she starts going off about how when we were both in high school, she took the same subway train as me. She said she used to watch me on the platform, wait for me to get into a subway car, go into the same subway car, and then like watching me and stare at me from across the subway car. She said she did this almost every day. I guess I was just completely unaware of this. But more to the point, you know, I'm reading this and I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. You know, why is she, you know, hitting up this mutual friend of ours and asking for my email address just to tell me this? That's a little bit strange, a little bit creepy. And I'm like, you know, I was flattered. You know, once again, I thought that everyone thought I was unattractive when I was in high school. So I was kind of flattered. So I'm like, yeah, okay, let me just write her an email back. And what can the harm be? I'm married. She's married. It can't hurt. So I write her an email back. I just tell her about my life, what I'm doing. And I kind of figure she knows that I'm married, but I make sure to mention that as well to make it very clear. Yeah, I'm a married guy now, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just writing a little bit of my life. I send off the email and I think, all right, that's fine. A day later, I get a response back from her. And in this email, she takes some comments I made about playing basketball, how I like to play basketball and I'm playing in a league or something. And she kind of takes this as an opportunity to start talking about my body. She starts saying, oh, you must, she writes, you know, oh, you must really still be in great shape. And she starts talking about my body, and she starts talking about swimmers, and next thing you know, she's musing about how I might look in a Speedo swimsuit. Now, I'm creeped out by this point. You know, I'm kind of creeped out. I'm like, you know, I'm reading this at home. I'm like, is my wife going to read this? What the hell is this? So I'm like, all right, delete. And that was the end of our email correspondence. So what's the lesson here? Well, two lessons. One, if you like to get in platonic contact with a high school crush and you're married and that high school crush is married, it is not a good idea to send that crush an email where you talk about how that person might look when they are nearly naked. Not a good idea, not a good way to keep the platonic contact going. That's number one. But number two, and what this is all leading to is, the point is, no matter how low your self-esteem is, no matter how bad you feel, believe it or not, there are people out there that find you attractive. There are. I mean, it's all the luck of the draw. You might be unlucky and only approach, you know, a couple of people and express your affection for them, and they might not be attracted to you. That's just, you're just having bad luck. Do not let the opinions of a handful of people destroy your self-esteem. Have as much self-esteem as you can. Like, be strong and just keep persevering, because there's someone out there for you. In fact, there's more than one person out there for you, and you'll find that person as long as you don't shrink into a little shell of low self-esteem. So that's my main point of all this. You know, just there's someone out there for everybody. You know, no matter how you look, you can be a goofy guy like me, and there are still people that find you attractive for one reason or another. And you folks watching out there, you're no different. I mean, okay, you know, assuming you're not one of those other two groups, you know, the genetically gifted or non-gifted, we're all kind of in the same universe here. And there are people out there that find you attractive. Don't get down if people tell you otherwise. There are people out there for you. And yeah, that's about it. So thanks for watching, folks, and I'll see you next time.